nobody conscious, but we pay attention to nonsense. We getting lit, they still lynch us with deeper agendas, like living with monsters. What? Poison in the faucet. It ain't been a day, I ain't exhausted. Money on my mind, never lost it. Everywhere I go, it's all the same. Everything is great, I can't complain. I just need $1 and some change. I just pray that the days is all
feel it through my eyes, I let these thoughts run. Dipping through these minds, but ain't exhaust one. Don't enter the void with niggas you can't call one. Open up, open up. Open up, open up. Dipping through my mind, I let these thoughts run. Feel it through my eyes, but ain't exhaust one. I enter the void for niggas I can't call one. Open up, open up. Open up, open up.
Way drowsy in the whip. App on, trying to get a lift. Mask on, thinking about a lick. Fast forward, finna take a risk on life. Figure the price. Stretching my nights, I throw top for the fight. Know that aura ain't natural, must be more tactical. Manic depressing, confessions seem magical. Planning my future, my roots running wild. Amazing my current, I wake up and smile. Mama so proud, I can't let that girl down. Patience and patience, this portal profound. Picture me rolling, thinking it's stolen. Post for a flick, never frozen the moment. Totally focused, these handoffs be golden, cause everything is and we already know it.
I hit the switch, niggas around me just call it some Gemini shit. It's really a gift. I got the knowledge on dark to the light, so I know the shit. Look where I live, I stare in the pocket. Even my circumstances couldn't stop it. Even my situation, that it made me feel mortal. Still ain't got me moving cordial. I hopped in the portal, I'm in the know. Trying to see what this journey all about. I'm feeling it out. I'm out in my lane, I think I'm seeing a change. We shall create. I was early to this wave. I don't think they can relate.
Feel it through my eyes, I let these thoughts run. Dipping through these minds, but ain't exhaust one. Don't enter the void with niggas you can't call one. Open up, open up. Open up, open up. Dipping through my mind, I let these thoughts run. Feel it through my eyes, but ain't exhaust one. I enter the void for niggas I can't call one. Open up, open up. Open up, open up.
Everything is great, yeah. Can I kick it back? This shit gon' make you join. That ain't even liquor, he got lean in his cup. I'm a legend, I'm still living. I got reasons to shine, nigga. Yeah, hey, baby, keep the faith. I need you like Biggie needed faith. Can I get one? But if not, I'll be okay. I just lay low till you dream of me or see me in your TNT, he my hero shit. Think I grab a kilo every week. Freak, accumulate amount where I can't reach. Flower petals at my feet, distracted devils underneath. They creep up, keep up, don't go deeper. Know your light, control your life. I fuck so much shit up with that nigga on my side. Never had a sister till she needed me to fly. Mama's got they trauma, but how beautiful am I? Never done my baby bro, could beat me till I die. Don't know where I'm going, but just meet me in the sky. Never was a poet, why? I can't take my own advice. It get cold on lonely nights. If you low, then come get high. Baby, keep the faith. I need you like Biggie needed faith. Can I get one? But if not, I'll be okay. I just lay low. Can I kick it back? That shit gon' make you shine. That ain't even liquor, he got lean in his cup. I'm a legend, I'm still living. I got reasons to stun, but the best is yet to come. They got questions, I got one-on-one. Can I kick it back? That shit shit gon' make you jump. That ain't even liquor, he got lean in his cup. I'm a legend, I'm still living, I got reasons to stunt, nigga.
Yeah, I really need you, but never hear me speaking now. Surface when we speak a mouth. Silence the receiver when you pick up. Miss us, distance like your mistress and your lover. Fuck her with my soul. I know no. Jump too fast, once you splash, now I'm ghost. Can't hide with the liquor. Go hard, never give up. Most scars in the backyard doing dive bombs. So babysitter, hella cold sweats on 1,000 threads. More pain than your brain come in. Portals open, but you lost your friend. Focus on the fun, but not a miss. Now we all get lost again. Caught it all, trying to R&R. Now you not in all. Somebody cut her off. She done took it straight with some Tylenol. Do you know the cost?
Jump out on faith or take a loss. You're wrapped in your sin, don't make the call. Can't lie to yourself, we know it all. Just fight when you fall, keep holding on.
Baby, keep the faith. I need you like Biggie needed faith. Can I get one more? If not, I'll be okay. I just lay low. Can I kick it back? That shit gon' make you jump. That ain't even liquor, he got lean in his cup. I'm a legend, I'm still living, I got reasons to stunt. But the best is yet to come. They got pushes, I got one-on-one. Can I kick it back? That shit gon' make you jump. That ain't even liquor, he got lean in his cup. I'm a legend, I'm still living, I got reasons to stunt, nigga.
Welcome, everyone. My name is Idris Goodwin. This is Another Black Body. This body is mine, but also political. When it stands, how it walks with a bop that's centrifugal. This body was once considered 3/5 of a human's. This body birthed by a woman who was birthed by a woman in a city of black alloy. This body fled before the rust settled. This body nomadic, moving through zip codes propelled by static. This body don't do neckties. It wears hoodies, ball caps, t-shirts, sneakers. This body needs freedom. This body stay in headlines. Hunted, some say hated. Some say this body celebrated when adorned with gold and vest and 9-shot ventilated by Smith and West. This body no hunger. This body starved. Yes, this body get stressed. This body knows love, shows love, never held guns, never sold drugs. This body is black since birth, African, American. This body got DNA of a slave master. This body got a master's degree, and still this body ignorant, sometimes foolish, full of it. This body push iron and keep trying. This body's a gazelle. This body's a lion. This body is a prayer to never know a cell. Got blood, got heart. This body keep moving. This body's a shark. This body's an ocean. This body swings, grooves, moves, rhythm, slides, electric. This body don't know how to Dougie. This body get ugly. Don't pop bottles, not bubbly. This body pop and lock. They trying to lock this body to a gurney. This body needs attorneys. It's known rivers, searching for the mountaintop. This body trying to know itself. This body survives, endures, makes mistakes. Wasn't no mistake. This body got 2 hands that clap, salute, give dap. 2 hands, black hands sided, become fists, legs that sprint when the rope get ignited. Political, the subject and headline, a force that's centrifugal behind the hashtag. This body is mine, to protect, to cherish, mine, to deprive. This body is fed well. This body is alive. Welcome, y'all. This is the
peace, Idris Goodwin. Yo, fam, beautiful work, my man. Salutes and thank you. Thank you for setting the tone. Sure. Thank you for kicking it off proper, for real.
Oh, yeah, for sure, man. It was an honor to follow those slapping tracks by Mother Nature.
Who you will hear from more this evening. I'm very excited to have Mother Nature perform live in the space. Welcome to everybody. This is BreakBeat Poets Live, Chapter 2. And we have a wonderful lineup tonight, man. Just heavy hitters, man, all through the building. We got
this is can I just tell you why I'm excited about this, man? Just to get for real. It's like, some folks have been, not doing their events, that they had scheduled, which I completely understand. They're just like, it's too much, it's too heavy. But I truly believe the thing I've been saying is like, it's my responsibility to be publicly alive and be publicly vocal. And and I know that feels like pretty major, you know what I'm saying? And so it's a courageous thing for everybody to be here together. And I think we're doing something really good for people. I think a lot of people really need this. So it feels really exciting that this is happening. And I'm just so excited for who that this is happening, man. And like all the voices that are together right now, because there's some brilliant minds and hearts on this Zoom call right now. Like, it's like folk have no idea what's about to happen to them.
Yeah, no, man. Yeah, folks' minds are going to be blown, and I think their spirit's going to be uplifted tonight. And I think that's what happens in part, man. Like we heal and build in the cipher, and it's part of the reason why I think we, seek these spaces and build these spaces, and certainly I think why we find ourselves in the space tonight. You know
what I like to consider, Kevin Coval?
Yeah,
I like to consider it a bit of saging for just a little moment in this little bit of cloud space that we have together. We are saging it a little bit and being like, no, we will not be diminished. Like, our lights will not be put out. You know what I'm saying? Like, the will to live will continue on, and we must shine. We must spread some reminder of why life is precious, is a gift, and that we are doing it all. We are not doing it for the gram. We're doing it for the record, son.
Yeah, yes, sir. And thank you, man. Thanks for setting the tone with that piece. That piece, of course, is from your latest collection, Can I Kick It?
Oh, this whole thing?
Yeah.
Listen, it's not about me right now, man. Listen. I'm just a sacrificial poet.
Listen, it's a beautiful piece.
Comic.
It's a beautiful piece, and it's courageous to admit that you don't know how to Dougie. So thank you for taking that opportunity too. And
listen, man. Listen, it's about honesty. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly,
young people like honesty, you know?
That's right.
Era,
Transparency.
Yeah, you know what I mean? They want to.
That's right. That's right. Well, look, we have an incredible lineup. You're going to hear tonight from just brilliant people. Franny Choi, Maya Marshall is in the building. John Rio is in the house. Jose Olivares in the building, and then Mother Nature as well, who you've heard from up top. We're gonna see perform live for us tonight. So Idris, can we hop into our first reader?
Man, let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. You doing all right, Kevin Coval? I mean, are you doing all right?
I'm good, man. Yeah, I mean, look, you are in Louisville, and I'm in Chicago, and we have people coming from all over the states right now to be in this space, and we have people in the chat who are tuning in from all over the country. I think it was significant last night that all 50 states had resistance movements. People were in the streets because it is far too long for people to recognize that this moment is upon us, but it is also powerful to see so many people activated in this moment. And something you said the other night, I am motivated by this moment, and I'm motivated by the hope, the desire that people remain engaged 6 days, 6 months, 6 years from now too, because it is a long haul and a long march towards justice, as Dr. King might be paraphrased. And look, the movement, the resistance needs all of us from whatever vantage point we come from to do this work of ending white supremacy and making sure that there is true equity for all people. So salutes to everybody in the building tonight, and I'm excited, man. So I want to introduce our first reader tonight.
Let's get it.
Franny Choi is the author of 2 poetry collections, Soft Science and Floating Brilliant Gone. She's a Kundiman Fellow, a 2019 Ruth Lilly Dorothy Sargent Rosenberg Fellow, and a graduate of the University of Michigan's Helen Zell Writers Program. She co-hosts the podcast Verses alongside Dinez Smith, and is a Charles Boland Fellow in English at Williams College. On socials, she's Franny Choir on Twitter and Franny Chino on IG, but she could give you those too. Franny, welcome to the Cypher, and thanks for being in the building.
Let's go.
Hey, oh man, it's such like a wild honor and a beautiful thing to get to be here. Another round of applause from home for Mother Nature's amazing set. That was so good. I can't wait to hear more at the end. That was really, really great. And I'm so honored to get to read with some real, like, absolute heroes of mine, and people that I'm lucky to count as friends as well. So my heart is hurting this week, but it feels rejuvenating to get to share this space with you. My heart is hurting for Chicago. My heart is hurting for my hometown, or my movement family in Providence. My heart is hurting for my hometown in Atlanta. For Detroit, who has a really special place in my heart too. And I think the one thing that I want to say before I read these 2 poems is that I really hope that all the Asian American folks who in the last few months have very rightfully been decrying the anti-Asian racism that was spreading as a result of Trump calling it a Chinese virus, etc., are just as vocal, even more vocal with their bodies and their words, fighting the epidemic of racism against our kin, our Black kin. So so that's all I'll say. This is a new poem that I wrote a few days ago, thinking about my friends, and especially thinking about Dinez doing the work that they're doing in Minneapolis. Aaron says the world is upside down, and it's true. The cops are shooting rubber bullets at even the white journalists now. The Target is on fire, and the Wells Fargo's shining face kicked in by white boys with gas masks and hammers, some of them actual Nazis. And yet the upside down world is also, by definition, the same world. Like the map that hung in the hallway of the house where I lived 3 or 4 lives ago. Argentina at the top, Greenland kissing its toes. It was a metaphor, someone explained, for seeing things another way. So yes, if it is true that another killer cops killed another Black life, another unauthorized chokehold, another no charge again, once more riot gear again, budget, once again, gas station flames, more, who's to blame, gets blamed again. If again and again it is the same, then it holds that the opposite must also be true. The so-called opposite world, the world of food drop-off stations, of phone trees, of bailouts and carry an extra mask, the world of kneeling for a stranger's gift of milk to flush the tear gas, the world of saying a thing in unison, so clear it drills a hole through to the other side of what's possible, so clear and wholly inverted, we realize it's been here all along. O kingdom of fire, O kingdom of food, with the same mouth we take your blessings. With the same mouth we pronounce you come. And this one is called Field Trip to the Museum of Human History. It's a poem that I wrote a few years ago when I was doing work that was being called abolitionist work, and I was having a lot of trouble understanding what a world without cops would even look like. So part of my process of getting there was to write this poem. It takes place in a future long after the abolition of cops. May we be on our way. Field trip to the Museum of Human History. Everyone had been talking about the new exhibit, recently unearthed artifacts from a time no living hands now remember. What 12-year-old doesn't love a good scary story, doesn't thrill at rumors of her own darkness whispering from the canyon? We shuffled in the dim light and gaped at the secrets reborn in clay, buried in clay, reborn as warning signs. A nightstick, so called for its use in extinguishing the lights in one's eyes. A machine used for scanning fingerprints like cattle ears, grain shipments. We shuddered, shoved our fingers in our pockets, acted tough, pretended not to listen as the guide said, ancient American society was built on competition and maintained through domination and control. In place of our modern day accountability practices, the institution known as police kept order using intimidation, punishment, and force. We pressed our noses to the glass, strained to try to imagine strangers running into our homes, pointing guns in our faces because we'd hoarded too much of the wrong kind of property. Jadira asked something about redistribution, and the guide spoke of safes, evidence rooms, more profit. Marianne asked about raiding the rich, and the guide said, in America, there were no greater protections from police than wealth and whiteness. Finally, Zaki asked what we were all wondering, but what if you didn't want to? And the walls snickered and said, steel, padlock, strip search, hard stop. Dry-mouthed, we came upon a contraption of chain and bolt, an ancient torture instrument the guide called handcuffs. We stared at the diagrams and almost felt the cold metal licking our wrists, almost tasted dirt, almost heard the siren and the slammed door, the cold-blooded click of the cocked-back pistol, and our palms were slick with some old recognition, as if in some forgotten dream we had lived this way, in submission, in fear, assuming positions of power were earned or at least carved in steel, that they couldn't be torn down like musty curtains, an old house cleared of its dust and obsolete artifacts. We threw open the doors to the museum, shedding its nightmares on the marble steps, and bounded into the sun, toward the school buses, or toward home, or the forests, or the fields, or wherever our good legs could roam. Thank you all so much. Thank you. They say
Hey,
Franny Choi, y'all.
Franny Choi, Franny, thank you so much for those fire poems.
Yeah, doing enough work.
Yeah. Idris,
I love what were you gonna say? Play
no, go ahead, man. Yeah, I was gonna say, go ahead.
I was just gonna note, like big shout out the not the soft rhyme scheme there in the middle too. Like I see with the bars.
Oh, Franny has so many
Yeah,
bars, you know.
Yeah.
And the thing that I love, you know, I always check for the artists that I love, because they, you know, not only is their work speak for itself, but their work in the community speaks volumes about who they are and what they do.
Yeah.
And I really admire so much of the work that Franny does and has been doing. And that last poem particularly, I think, kind of speaks to so much of what this space is about, and why I rock with artists, because, you know, certainly this world has been imagined. And so it's also on us to unfurl our radical imagination into the space to think about a world that is without police, a world that is without white supremacy, a world that is without capitalism, and all of these things that keep people separated from one another. And so I really admire everybody in the building tonight, and that poem in particular by Franny. Thank you.
This is why the poets need a seat at the table, because, you know, when people ask these questions of, you know, well, who's gonna, you know, there's automatic questions whenever you come up with an idea that seems radical to some. Well, how are you gonna whatever? And the poet's job is to say, well, here's here's what it could look like, right? Like that's what we do, and we articulate it in a way. We, using craft, we build the answer and the possibility and the reality. So, you know, this is not just you know, our feelings. This is also our architecture. You feel me? You know.
Yeah, this is our plan. This is our urban plan, right? This is yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah,
See, now your whole thing is opened up.
Hey, listen. I feel like, you know, it's funny because we asked people to read 2 poems, and now I'm like, I want Franny to like dip back in and just like kick another 16.
Let's just do like a round. Let's just keep going.
All right.
Till we all pass out.
Let's bring in our next reader.
Yes.
I want to introduce Maya Marshall, who is a writer and editor, co-founder of Underbelly, the journal on the practical magic of poetic revision. Marshall has earned fellowships from McDowell, Vermont Studio Center, Callaloo, The Watering Hole, and Cave Canem. She is the author of Secondhand and former senior editor of Pank. Her writing appears in Best New Poets 2019, Muslim Magazine, Rhino, Blackbird, The Volta, and elsewhere. She lives in Chicago, you already know what it is, where she works as manuscript editor for Haymarket Books. Her debut poetry collection, All the Blood Involved in Love, is forthcoming on Haymarket Books and the BreakBeat Poets. And I have to say, Maya is my week-to-week, my go-to in this work of putting BreakBeat Books out on Haymarket, and is such a fine editor. And as you're about to see, a bar writer. Maya Marshall, welcome to the Cypher.
Hello, friends. Hello, fellow poets. Thank you for having me. Thanks for being in this bright spot in this dark week. Vivie Francis says the poets are the vanguard. People wonder what it is we do. We do the imagining and the documenting and the archiving of what is already beautiful without adding frills. So I'm going to read 2 poems. I want to say that there are not women and GNC people directly mentioned in these poems, but those are the people on my heart right now. And that includes Breonna Taylor and Sandra Bland and Ayanna Jones and Toni McDade and. Lavender Menace was a group of lesbians who showed up at like a National Women's March and was like, fuck y'all are leaving us out for no reason. Those people did not include the brown women, so I'm going to take that term and apply it to the brown queers too. Lavender Menace adopts a black boy, and summer black boy burns. Say, black boy takes shelter. Imagine summer camp. Black boy afloat in Link, Michigan. Black boy piñata. Black boys dance. Death drop. Black boy could be a first cousin once removed. Black boy would be 10 now, or 12. Black boy looks like a father he's never seen. Black boy is a grandma's boy. He is amalgam. Black boy is dragonfly. Brilliant, iridescent, conspicuous in flight. 24,000 ommatidia. Black boy is anther and filament. Black boy is a tiger. Black boy is steel at 17K. Black boy is waiting, is chicken chest. Black boy is grandfather clock tall. Black boy has never been a clock tower. Black boy is egret wings, is flying, is his father's arms. Black boy is lisp and puppy scented. Black boy is whipping boy. Black boy is Billy Goat's gruff. Black boy's first home is rag doll, is a closet corner, is tender purple. Black boy is a plum pit, a walnut hull. Black boy is Curupira. Black boy is a dark city, is an open window, is a roving squad car, is crashing glass and song. A single black boy is the softest avocado in the market. A black boy is confetti. See his locked hair fairy. See his smile shatter light. See him shake in his new bathroom. See him wash his hands and brush his teeth. See the little boy explode into laughter. All right, so I don't think that there are maybe enough, thank you, friends, monuments to Black love. So here's this one I wrote in response to a photo in a series in an exhibit called Southbound, came out last year in South Carolina. The lovers in the photograph. The men nestle, one inched into the cleft of his love's thighs. They wait under the eye of the sun in the bullseye of the camera's lens as a white witness documents Black love on a late spring day in Chesapeake, Virginia in the year 2000 and something. One, eyes closed, lips resting against his fellow's cheekbone. The other, eyes open, stares forward, soft-browed as if he's just opened his eyes. Two moles make a base cleft of the curve of his left eye, or a colon. Open exposure in this one frame. Loose clothes betray a slim collarbone, a meaty bicep, two modest black bellies, sun-coppered and hairy, the slightest catch in a fold, a clasp on an elbow. The lovers caught, lean into each other, away from the leaves, well in front of the building, holding their spot on the black top of the complex's parking lot, locked as if in bronze. I've never seen a monument like this. Do-rag and chin-strap mustache, brawn-armed bear with a fresh, tight fade. I've lived at the corner of Confederate and Lincoln, spat on the stone feet of a gynecological barbarian, seen equestrians erected high above men's heads, but never yet two sleek, wide noses, or one man's neck tilted in supplication, mouth slit open to let the air dart in, hands wound lightly around a waist and lower back, knuckles alit on a broad, dockered thigh, two men spun like blossoming vines, shining in the splendor of two like soldiers in love. In light, not in shadow. But here, the woman's eye has arrested our fellows in dewy day, without labored sweat or defiant glances, not off guard or posed, but seeming free and seeming safe in the baleen of each other's embrace. Thanks, lovies.
Yes,
Yo.
Lord. Yo.
My Marshall
You see what
fan.
I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? It's going down. We only two poets in. It's already a thing. What was it? The black boy is the softest avocado.
Yo, can I tell you?
Stop.
Come on.
Yo. Just come on, yo.
Just
Stop
out the
playing,
gate. I love how she
Yes,
comes
nah,
in the
not
room
ready.
with the club banger too, you know.
Can a little heads up would have been nice. Like you trying to, you know what I mean?
That's all you're saying.
Trying to do to me. What you trying to do to me?
I'm so excited for her book because that's a little taste of
That's
what
like what
is.
you saying. That's like a moose.
It's like for her. She was just, she just like, it's Wednesday. Let me offer these. You know what I mean? But that it's going to be all the blood involved in love is a beautiful, essential, important collection. I'm excited to have it.
When's that drop, man?
Yo, I don't know. I mean, next year, I hope 21, Maya, 22, maybe.
Stop. See,
fall 21. Yeah. Fall 21.
I'm doing the Dr. Dre detox. I see what it is.
No. It's definitely not gonna be that.
Hey, when it's definitely not gonna be that.
That's why he gets so much Botox, is because he can't keep a straight face when people ask him about the record. It's too soon. My bad, y'all. Listen, I'll leave. I'll It's been a good night. I've enjoyed myself thus far.
Listen. Poems they rattle all. They scramble.
You know what I mean?
Exits.
All your good sense. Yeah.
It
make
breaks you down.
Yeah.
Breaks you down. You know, you resort to puns and dad jokes and things. Let's go. Who next, man?
All right. Yo, we'll keep it moving. It does not stop. It really does not stop. We next to Flex. John Murillo is the author of the poetry collections Up Jump the Boogie, finalist for both the Kate Tufts Discovery Award and the Penn Open Book Award, and contemporary American poetry. His honors include many: 2 Larry Neal Writers Awards, a Pushcart Prize, the J. Howard and Barbara M.J. Wood Prize from the Poetry Foundation, and fellowships from the NEA, the Breadloaf Writers Conference, Fine Arts Work Center of Provincetown, Kaveh Khanum Foundation, the Wisconsin Institute for Creative Writing. Recent poems have appeared or are forthcoming in such publications as American Poetry Review, Poetry, and Best American Poetry 2017, 19, and 20. John Murillo is an assistant professor of English at Wesleyan University and also teaches in a low residency MFA program at Sierra Nevada University. He lives in Brooklyn. And when I didn't know we were going to be able to get him, and I've not spoke to John. John used to live in Chicago, but when I reached out, he was like, "Yo, I'm down," because that's how that's how this community gets it in. John Murillo, welcome to the Cypher, man, and thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. You guys can hear me okay? All right, cool. No, seriously, man, this is one of those things that I didn't know that I needed, but I needed this. I needed to be here, to hear your words, to just share your energy and be part of this community in general, but tonight of all nights. Yeah. So thank you. I'm gonna break the rules just a little bit. We're reading 2 poems a piece. I'm actually going to read just one of my own, but I wanted to open with 2 short poems from Lucille Clifton, if I could. I just felt like it was necessary to bring her voice into the room. Yeah. So the first one is a really short poem. It's only 5 lines long. It's called "Why Some People Be Mad at Me Sometimes." They ask me to remember, but they want me to remember their memories. And I keep on remembering mine. And this next one is written in the voice of James Byrd. If you remember, he was the man who was lynched and dragged to death behind a pickup truck in Jasper, Texas. 1998, and I wanted to dedicate the reading of this poem to George Floyd and all the other recent victims of state violence. Yeah. Jasper, Texas, 1998, for Jay Bird. I am a man's head hunched in the road. I was chosen to speak by the members of my body. The arm, as it pulled away, pointed toward me. The hand opened once and was gone. Why and why and why should I call a white man brother? Who is the human in this place? The thing that is dragged or the dragger? What does my daughter say? The sun is a blister overhead. If I were alive, I could not bear it. The townsfolk sing, "We shall overcome," while hope bleeds slowly from my mouth into the dirt that covers us all. I am done with this dust. I am done. That's Lucille Clifton. Idris mentioned a few words that resonated with me earlier, the preciousness of life, honesty and transparency. One of the things that I try to do in my writing in general, but in particular in this book that just came out, is I'm looking at notions of masculinity that we've all, to some degree or another, have adopted. Yeah, most of them toxic, all of them problematic. And so one of the things that I try to write about is how I and people of my generation have really participated in violence. You know, we're decrying state violence, but also there are many ways in which we personally have participated over the years. This poem is called On Confessionalism. Not sleepwalking, but waking still with my hand on a gun and the gun in a mouth and the mouth on the face of a man on his knees. Autumn of '89, and I'm standing in a Section 8 apartment parking lot, pistol cot, and staring down at this man, then up into the mug of an old woman staring, watering the single sad flower to the left of her stoop, the flower also staring. My engine idling behind me, a slow moaning bass line and the bark of a dead rapper nudging me on, all to say someone's brokenhearted. And this man with the gun in his mouth, this man who, like me, is really little more than a boy, may or may not have something to do with it. May or may not have said a thing or two, betrayed a secret, say, that walked my love away. And why not say it? She adored me, and I, her, more than anyone, anything in life up to then, and then still for 2 decades after, and therefore went for broke. Blacked out and woke, having gutted my piggy and pawned all my gold to buy what a homeboy said was a Beretta. Blacked out and woke, my hand on a gun, the gun in a mouth, a man who was really a boy on his knees. And because I loved the girl, I actually paused before I pulled the trigger. Once, twice, 3 times. Then panicked not just because the gun jammed, but because what if it hadn't? Because who did I almost become there that afternoon in a Section 8 apartment parking lot, pistol cot with the sad flowers staring? Because I knew the girl I loved, no matter how this all played out, would never have me back. Day of damaged ammo or grime that clogged the chamber. Day of faulty rods or springs come loose in my fist. Day nobody died. So why not hallelujah? Say amen or thank you. My mother sang for years of God, babes, and fools. My father, lymph node masses fading from his x-rays, said surviving one thing means another comes and kills you. He's dead, and so I trust him. Dead, and so I'd wonder years about the work I left undone. Boy on his knees, a man now, risen, and likely plotting his long way back to me. Fuck it. I tucked my tool like the movie gangsters do and jumped back in my bucket. Cold enough day to make a young man weep. Afternoon when everything or nothing changed forever. The dead rapper grunted, the bass line faded, my spirits whispered something from the trees. I left, then lost the pistol in a storm drain, somewhere between that life and this. Left the pistol in a storm drain, but never got around to wiping away the prints. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, John Mario, man. Doesn't
Yo,
stop.
So many
Doesn't
things.
stop.
So I just, there's many things to say. I have 2 things I want to say. First thing I want to say, and this is for everyone listening out in the digital sphere, is that what you witness is a rarely used rule, which is we saw John Mario invoke the Lucille Clifton rule, which is that if you are limited to a number of poems, you can get around that because, of course, you can read as many Lucille Clifton poems because there's food, there's oxygen, and there's Lucille Clifton poems. So very, very smart move by John Mario up top. Second, I want to say that what I just heard just now was something. It was basically a blues, what we're going to call a blues opera. That was a very tragic blues poem that I just could not see on stage with music playing. It was yeah. So shout out John Mario.
Yeah, man, and that's in the new joint, which I just got. You know, I just got in the mail. Contemporary American Poetry. So all these folks have books and platforms and spaces to support. So please make sure you do. And salute, John. Thank you, man. Thanks for being in the cipher. Idris, how you doing, man? We're already
changed. I'm not. I know. I was a different guy like 10 minutes ago, like 15 minutes ago.
Yes. Have you learned how to Dougie since?
No.
I didn't know if that was the change you were referencing.
No, I still do not know. No. I am changed in ways that I will not even be able to understand, but I will be happy to explain at the next BreakBeat Poets Cafe event.
Okay, well, good. Yeah, keep it tuned for chapter 3 then.
The world don't. Let's go.
All right.
How you doing?
I'm good,
right?
man. This is spectacular. I mean, these events so far have been, you know, they're dreams. They're really like some of my favorite writers on the planet in one space. And, you know, I mean, typically, right, we wouldn't be able to be together in this way. And so, you know, because of the situation, because of the conditions, we're able to gather in this way and commune and build and hear one another. And I just think that there's something also very special that we get to see into each other's homes too, you know, or wherever we're at now. You know, I mean, everyone has, you know, their own setup behind them. But it's nice.
So
you know, Mother Nature has like the built-in gallery.
Much like some people play like fantasy football. This is like your fantasy poetry night that's happening right now, where you're like, yo, I want John Mario, but I want John Mario to invoke the Lucille Clifton rule.
No, that's all him. But yes, but these are like you know the dream team is assembled. Yeah.
Oh, the dream team is here. Oh yes, they're here. The dream team is here.
There you go. Should we keep it pushing?
I mean, can we? Is
yeah,
there more? Can there
I can't believe
it. Be more bars? I don't know. It's like downtown Nashville on a Friday night. Could there possibly be more bars?
Wow. Indeed there is. Jose Olivares is a writer from Chicago and Calumet City, Illinois. He is the author of Citizen Illegal and the editor, along with Willie Perdomo and Felicia Rose Chavez, of the brand new 4th volume of the BreakBeat Poets anthology series, Latinx. Jose is residing in BK, but as you can see, stays repping Chicago on his heart and his mind every day. Jose, welcome to the Cypher, fam.
Thank you for having me. What's up, everybody? My name is Jose Guadalupe Olivares. I just want to say that I'm really glad to be here with Maya and Franny and John Murillo and Idris and Kevin and Mother Nature. I'm gonna read this poem. This is a new poem. This poem is called "It's Only Day Whatever of the Quarantine, and I'm Already Daydreaming of Robbing Rich People." It's in a few different parts. 1. I would like to punch Jeff Bezos in his stupid face, and I would like healthcare in case my hand bruises, and I would like to live long enough to hug my friends, to kiss my mom and dad on their foreheads and not worry about infecting them. I would like to live long enough to punch Jeff Bezos in his stupid face again. Is it stupid? Stupid or not, I would like to punch it. 2, what does that solve, you could ask? This isn't a good poem, you could say. And you're right, It's not a good poem. I don't have health care. I don't have health care. I don't have health care. There's no way to make that pretty. 3. But let me try. When sirens brush by our block, I see cardinals and blue jays brawling. Their feathers tickle our buildings. All I hope is the ambulance leaves before my magic trick unfeathers itself and the sirens become sirens become sirens. 3. If we stole $1 billion from Jeff Bezos, he wouldn't even notice, so let's steal more. 4. When sirens brush by our block, I don't see birds. I see bills and coffins. And when I see coffins, I see all the debt that can't be buried with me. How even in death, my name will be a worm in an accountant's spreadsheet. So that's the first one. Then, I want to quickly say, so Nate Marshall, who's in the YouTube chat I saw, and Tarfia Fezula and Franny Choi, who's here with us, a team of us are writing poems, individualized, personalized poems for anyone who donates money to bail funds. All you have to do is send a photo of your receipt to poemsforthefree@gmail.com, and someone will send you a poem. So if you've already made a donation, if this inspires you to make a donation, let's make a donation so we can bail out some people until we abolish these prisons and abolish these police, and can use that money for other things. This poem is called Mexican Heaven. 1. All of the Mexicans sneak into heaven. St. Peter has their name on the list, but none of the Mexicans have trusted a list since Ronald Reagan was president. 2. St. Peter is a Mexican named Pedro, but he's not a saint. Pedro waits at the gate with a shot of tequila to welcome all the Mexicans to heaven, but he gets drunk and forgets about the list. All the Mexicans walk into heaven, even our no good cousins who only go to church for baptisms and funerals. 3. It turns out God is one of those religious Mexicans who doesn't drink or smoke weed, so all the Mexicans in heaven party in the basement while God reads the Bible and thumbs a rosary. God threatens to kick all the Mexicans out of heaven si no paran con las pendejadas, so the Mexicans drink more discreetly. They smoke outside where God won't smell the weed. God pretends the Mexicans are reformed. Hallelujah. This cycle repeats once a month. Amen. 4. Jesus has a tattoo of La Virgen de Guadalupe covering his back. It turns out he's your cousin Jesus from the block. It turns out he gets reincarnated every day and no one on earth cares all that much. 5. All the Mexican women refuse to cook or clean or raise the kids or pay bills or make the bed or drive you to work or do anything except watch their novelas. So heaven is gross. The rats are fat as roosters and the men die of starvation. 6. There are white people in heaven too. They build condos across the street and ask the Mexicans to speak English. I'm just kidding. There are no white people in heaven. 7. Tamales, tacos, tostadas, tortas, pozole, sopes, huaraches, menudo, horchata, jamaica, limonada, agua. 8. St. Peter lets Mexicans into heaven, but only to work in the kitchens. A Mexican dishwasher polishes the crystal, smells the meals, and hears the music. They dream of another heaven, one they might be allowed in if only they work hard enough. Thanks, y'all.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Jose,
Thank you, Jose.
I'm with it.
Yeah, man.
That poem, that the Mexican Heaven poem, is from the book Citizen Illegal, also out on Haymarket Books. Is it not, Kevin Coval?
It is. Those are facts. Also, the new joint is fire. Just I love when people bring that raw, and yeah, man, thank you for that. Yo, there's also Idris. We should shout out, man. There are a whole lot of superstars in the chat. You know, Nate Marshall's in the chat.
Oh yeah,
Eric
who's
Foreman's
in the chat?
Kame Akbar's in the chat.
Erica Foreman.
Yeah,
Oh my
Tarfia
gosh.
Fazul. Faizula is in the chat. We just got a lot of superstars.
Let me ask you a question though. Is Sharkula in the chat?
He has not commented, but I'm sure I will say this: he is very close. Wherever he's at right now, I know he's close.
He's outside your house right now.
Look, if any one of us were to step outside right now, we could probably come up off of like some Sharkula vinyl or CD, guaranteed.
Kevin Coval, let me ask you a question. One of the things that I've noticed tonight that what I love about these events is it just reminds me of certain techniques, like certain things, I don't know how to say it, but like I just love this style of poetry, this lane of poetry. I love breakbeat poetry, and there are little subtle things that we do. They're very subtle, and I'm sure like somewhere some academic poetry person say, "Well, no, in 1305, Byron did," whatever. But we freak it. They don't freak it like we do. But I love, and I'm a simple guy. I like simple things. But I love the sneak rhyme. I love just the little sneaky rhyme, a little internal rhyme, a little like wink rhyme, I call it.
Yeah.
So with Jose, he just had the saint and gate little slant rhyme between, like, I think it was like the third poem and the fourth poem, whatever. But everyone tonight, at some point, I feel like has had a sneaky rhyme in there. And so shout out all your sneaky rhymes. I'm catching them.
I love that that's the technical term too. So that's
the wink rhyme.
We on it.
Do you have a favorite technique of the breakbeat poets, Kevin Coval?
Yeah, well, I mean, to your point, I love that everyone who spit tonight is very conscientious of sound, and as Angel Nafis talks about, not putting the audience to sleep. You know what I mean? I think that's it's these are moving narratives, and it's masterfully written and it's masterfully orated. And I think that there is no, distinction, is that if it rocks on the page, it's going to rock in the ear. And I like that people take such care about how the shit sounds, as well as what it means, as well as how it's crafted. So what you're saying is that you appreciate the flavor in your ear. Hello. Okay. All right. We gotta move on, folks. Yeah, we really. That's the. We should move on. We should move on. Idris, if I may, before I introduce Mother Nature, I was going to, make a contribution to the site. Oh, you going this evening? Oh, you gonna spit some bars? Just like a bar, like a. Let's go. So I was. You Kevin Coval. I would, of course, like this moment is every moment, and I think that's one of the things that Idris, we've talked about recently on, Idris and I do this is a little shout out, but we do a conversation on Vocalo on Monday nights called Same Old New School, and we kind of talk about hip hop and everything that in some ways is being discussed tonight too, but that how hip hop is really kind of suited us for this moment. In some ways, hip hop is politicized now, maybe 4 or 5 generations of young people to be aware and engaged. And, this moment is every moment. And so this morning, as I was thinking about maybe what to contribute, I thought of something that I wrote a little while ago and have been tinkering with since. So this is called Upon Hearing Jason Van Dyke is Home on Bail. There is no conspiracy. It is plain as day. If a black cop shot a white teen 16 times, the world would be upside down. There would be grand wizards and grand jury investigations, charges and changes at the highest, whitest levels. Who mourns black people other than black people? Jason Van Dyke is home, getting his dick sucked, having a hot meal, sitting in a worn leather chair, working a model train in the basement of his bungalow. He left his cell to a system of pats from the fat, crooked hands supposed to hold him accountable. Whiteness's greatest privilege is to walk free in a bed of blood, to murder and lie again and have it on video again and act like it never happened. We go crazy yelling at the TV to change the channel. Laquan McDonald will never change his clothes or have a firm night's sleep. His family will never have a firm to hold the city culpable. The culprit's free to put croutons on a salad and kill right before our eyes. There can never be enough justice here. not in a land wrongly named. We have known that and know that again. This is only the latest of the sick, chronic examples, the city country beams. Nothing changes. White cops walk freely while the ghosts of black men huddle around a TV, a courtroom, a newspaper, knowing justice is just a myth, something white people say to sleep firmly at night, tucked into white cotton sheets. Yeah, thank you. No, thanks for letting me get down. Yeah, man, it's been yeah, man. Well, you know, it's just this moment is new, and it feels, you know, too familiar. And
yeah, right, exactly.
You know,
yeah. It is, and isn't there also like a bit of a, each time this happens, you know, this is what I've been struggling with. There's a cynical part of me that's just like, here we go again, right? But then there's this other part of me that's like, maybe it's a little further, you know, maybe we push the ball a little bit further. And I will say this, you know, I got very hip to it with, you know, when LA burned, right? You know, that was the first time I was like, but wait a minute, I thought this happened when my parents were kids, right? Like to see it in color, because before, you know, the Bull Connor videos, those were black and white. I was like, that was grandma's era, that was mine. And then LA happened, and I was like, wait, it was so surreal. I was like, what is going on? This doesn't happen anymore, right? And since then, I've been tracking like every riot since then, and each time I feel like, well, this one's a little bit different, right? And what you said up top about the swiftness with which I think the level of connectedness I feel to all the other cities and states that are doing this, like I feel like we're having one conversation, and that feels different to me. That feels a little bit different to me. And again, I don't get too optimistic, you know what I'm saying? But I just want to share that for anyone else who might be thinking the same thing, is that I think it's also important to honor that spirit of, like, you know, we're not to utopia, we're not to Wakanda yet, but we've inched it further, you know, we've inched it a little bit further, and someone is going to build on what we're doing now. So for what it's worth.
And I think it's worth saying that tonight the funds raised go to Black Lives Matter Chicago, which is, you know, one of those spaces and one of those organizing bodies and communities that I am optimistic because of the, you know, essential work that they do to bring communities together, to build bridges between communities. And I think that organizers now have new tools to organize, new tools to communicate, and stay kind of ahead of the curve. And I think it's, I mean, to hold both those things, man, to be, you know, cynical because you know and have lived in history, and to be aware of history, but also to remain, you know, optimistic that we are building the future that we want to envision and want to live into. I think that's the attitude that we have to have, that it is a long haul, but we can get there, you know. And so, and I feel fortified by this community, man. And so salutes to everyone in the building tonight. Salutes to Jose, salutes to John, salutes to Maya and Franny, the Haymarket squad. And, you know, we're gonna go out with an incredible crew, man. I mean, you heard them up top play snippets, little bits, but now we have the pleasure and the opportunity to welcome into the cipher Mother Nature. Mother Nature is the irresistible force of clever and truth, MCs devoted to building a legacy founded on defiance and self-discovery. The Chicago-based duo is the answer for listeners seeking both substance and simplicity. As educators, they've mastered the ability to deliver weighty content through uplifting bars that pierce the conscience. With peace and love as their weapon and community as their foundation, these great thinkers are on their way to provoking a pivotal shift in the next generation. They have a brand new album that is in the world, streaming on every place that you listen to music. The album is called Portals. Ladies and gentlemen, into the BreakBeat Poets Cipher, please welcome Mother Nature.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all. We are so happy to be involved in this cipher. Can y'all hear us? Can y'all hear us good? Okay. We're so happy to be involved in this cipher. We believe in the cipher. Our name is Mother Nature for a reason. We believe in destroying and rebuilding. We do that through hip hop. We really began when we were activated, when we were both activated in like 2016. And that's when our music together began. And so it's always been, the movement has always been intrinsic to our message. So yeah, we're gonna break it off with y'all today. The first song we got for y'all is Rotations, Word Up to the Cipher. And yeah, we just believe in the need for hip hop. Hip hop has that power to connect us, has the power to keep us alive. And we just want to share that with y'all. All right. Let me reconnect y'all 1 second. If y'all need us to turn up or anything, like the volume with vocals, just signal us. All right.
I've been waiting on you all day. I ain't got no words to say. I've been waiting on you all day.
I've been waiting.
I ain't got no words to say.
I've been waiting.
I've been waiting on you all day.
I've been waiting.
I ain't got no words to say. I've been waiting on you all day. I ain't got no words to say.
Words, slur, repeat what you heard. These feelings emerge. I am not sure, I am the cure. I hit the curve, move right past me. Look at my passion, stuck in the backseat, stuck in the bad dream. My nigga don't ask me what's wrong. I put it all in a song. I watch him sit on my throne. He did it all on her own. Hey, I'ma need more dollars strong. I'ma need more dollars strong. I'ma need more dollars. I'ma need more dollars. I'ma need more dollars strong. I'ma need more. I'ma need more. I'ma need more dollars strong. I'ma need more dollars. I'ma need more dollars. I'ma need more dollars strong. I'ma need more.
Universe, what the fuck? Think I asked for too much. Gave my mama new crib, I paid with no split, pray I make enough. And I ain't doubting no worries, wrote that script in my story, flip this lip shit, got my sense fixed, now we skating, no friction, not to mention this penny pension, make vision different, it's a new invention. Break it down, that's a new account. You ain't about them pounds, get the fuck around. 29 rotations, thank the Lord for my patience, did it all in my favor, thank the Lord for this flavor.
Bitch, I barely made 1,000. Dollars this month, I don't doubt it too much. I know every way to get around it. I ain't never had allowance. Only know is I allow it. Only clue I'm trying to know is overflow or overthrow it. Damn, I finally found a fountain. Put my family in the mountains. Hold my hand to hold me down. I've been handling amounts that don't amount to what I need to weigh it out. It's been some generations now. Like, what is patience? We need motivation. Like, whoa, whoa, I need motos. No rotations. Get so contagious. Like, oh no, I can't go home. No rotations. We so courageous. I show my bravery. This work ain't paying me. This shit ain't natural. And the truth ain't magical. But they still laugh at you. Cause you got no capital G's. They reflected my seeds. I collect currencies. Through my vessel though, do we decibel? Through collective proceeds. We reflect the OGs. We reflect the OGs. We reflect the OGs. Resurrecting and we reconnecting now. Bounce, 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 Yo, what we sound all right? Y'all hear clear? Cool. Sweet.
Hey, again, that rotation, it's about the cipher. It's about, even though like being in this space right now, it's a lot rotating around us right now. Just on a personal note, real quick, like today is my oldest brother's birthday today, and for us to just still be in this cycle of like seeing Black death and Black men and Black women just being disposed of, essentially. It hit my heart a little bit different today, and I think this song resonates even more with me because through it all, we're still able to rotate. We're still able to keep this going, keep this flowing. So we just want to thank y'all for this platform. Kevin, Idris, everybody involved. Y'all are amazing. And just again, like let's just keep this energy going as much as we can. Flow it through yourself, flow it through those around you in your personal cipher, because that is what keeps us alive. That's what is allowing us to continue doing this type of work. So I just thank y'all for that, for real.
Yeah. Coming up next, we got this joint, Antidote, and Antidote is truly representative of what Mother Nature is about, our energy, our belief, our philosophy, and really just how we choose to spread love and light in our communities. Man, like when I think of Black girls and when I think of Black youth, I just think of like how neglected, you know what I'm saying, we've been, and just even going through my own traumas, how neglected I've been, you feel me? And man, like we truly have the power through our words to, like you said, reimagine what our world can look like. So this is Antidote.
Rolling through the city, looking for the antidote. Rolling through the city, looking for the antidote. Y'all is your man, I hope he open. I really do, I need a dose. I'm on the go. My negativity start with me. All in my mind, but I don't believe. Don't know my work, so I never leave. A painted facade in these cloudy dreams. 2 stories I told a psychiatrist. Shredding my chill wasn't making sense. Lacking my blessings, neglecting my essence. My system is stressing. She switched my direction. I'm in for it all. Check out the stars. Get your stars. Thanking the Lord. It looked like a job. I did it for y'all. Oh, zipping up the balance. I can barely manage. What's your standard? You can't recall the conversation, complicate the conscience. Be more careful. All these levels niggas trying to climb. Understanding this is state of mind. We can build the world and we can sit there blind. But time don't wait for fear. Told y'all this idea, only love in the atmosphere. Speaking light in the sun appear. We building millions. Well, your confidence, our children need more than dollars and cents.
I can see the beauty in pain. Ask me what I do in the pain. It's my duty not to do this in vain. All this rope that opportunity spring. All this rope that opportunity spring. Oh, I can see the beauty in pain. Ask me what I do in the pain. It's my duty not to do this in vain. All this rope that opportunity spring. All this rope that opportunity spring. Oh, rolling through your city looking. Rolling through your city again. Rolling through your city looking for the antidote. Rolling through your city looking. Rolling through your city looking for the antidote.
Yeah, I got new change, couple dollars for a new strain. If you try to go and do things, living lawless, living through things, living honest, living loose, though. Living out of the truth. I've been trapping off the booze. Snapping out these avenues. Test me in traffic, you test me the addy. I drop out the package, cause I'm on a go. They need relief. I know the pieces of product of love, and it's my antidote. Mother Nature turning new leaf, burning new leaf, burning new leaf. I've been patient for a few weeks, got some new beats in my crew. I've been facing situations lately with some new peace, cause I know God. I've been praying on a daily basis, I ain't through. I can do it all. Give me space, will I innovate? Give me grace, will I integrate? Everything is great, let me see what's up with the blood. Hey.
Rolling through your city looking. Rolling through your city looking for the antidote. Rolling through your city looking. Rolling through your city looking for the antidote. We rolling, hey, rolling through your city looking for the antidote. We rolling, hey, we rolling through your city looking for the antidote.
Thank y'all, thank y'all, thank y'all.
Thank y'all so much.
And just keep this cycle
Yes,
going.
yeah.
Blessings, blessings.
Yo, Mother
Yes,
Nature,
yes.
thank y'all, man. Idris, yo.
Ooh, that was funky.
Yo, Portals
I
is
like
their
that,
record.
man.
Portals
Yeah, I
is
like
their
that.
record. Stream that ASAP. Support. They are just on fire,
Yeah.
man. They're incredible.
No, I love it, man. I love it. It's so there's just an ease to the music. Like it just feels like, you know, they just on a wave,
Yeah.
and you just want to roll with it.
Yeah.
How do you who do you know who's doing it? Is it both of them just doing everything, rhymes, beats, everything? As far as you know.
Nah, it's our collective. We're a part of a greater collective called the Great Thinkers. We have 5 MCs on the squad, 2 producers and a videographer. So we over here really Caribbean culture. You feel me?
Love it, y'all. Really, really great to meet y'all in this context. Also, shout out the Jay Dilla t-shirt as well.
Well, I wrote
Detroit.
I knew somebody gonna see it.
That's right. Well, I'm from the D originally, so yeah, let's go. But yeah.
Well, shout
Yeah,
out to
of
Mother
course.
Nature. Shout out to John Murillo. Shout out to Maya Marshall.
Yes.
Shout out to Jose Olivares. Shout out to Franny
Yes.
Choi. Shout out to
Yes.
Haymarket Books. All the
Yes.
proceeds of this chapter 2 of the BreakBeat Poets Live is going to Black Lives Matter Chicago. Thank you to them for being down and for doing the essential work that they're doing. Thank you to all the organizers and everyone who is stepping up in really important ways right now. Idris, another one's in the books, fam.
That's right. Here we go. This has been a tremendous night, and it's like a gift, man. Like it's a gift. Like I need it. I feel like I'm getting away with something. You know what I mean? Like it's a real pleasure to be here in this space. It's inspiring. It's food for my soul, and it's just good to see my people, man. That's it. It's just good to be in conversation with my people, see everybody alive and shining and struggling, and I just feel so blessed, and I just hope everyone continues to maintain, because I know we're day by day with this. So everybody just like and reach out, man. Like reach out, yo. Like we can do it and we can connect in this platform, but just we can connect in any way, shape, or form. And so it's been a pleasure. Everyone who's tuned in, thank you so much, and stick with us, constantly. We're about this forever. This is a movement, and it's a conversation. It's a space we're creating virtually, in books, in the cloud, eventually in less than 6 feet, in a closer social distance eventually. But yeah, it don't stop. It don't stop. We're just carrying the fire that folks like Lucille Clifton carried, and we just carrying it on and on and on and on. That's it.
It don't stop. Support everyone in the room. All these poets got books. So, Mother Nature has records you could listen to. We will be back in 2 weeks with chapter 3 on June 17th at BreakBeat Poets Live. So please stay in tune with what we're doing at Haymarket Books. And thank you to everybody for tuning in and sharing some of your Wednesday evening with us. Stay safe, y'all, and take good care of one another. And let's make this world a better place for each of us. So thank you so much, y'all, and stay up. Peace.
Yeah. 5,000, y'all.